Hi friends, my name is Sasha.
And I'm Mia.
And this is the Drawing Club podcast.
A weekly show where we chat about art, creativity, life,
and my cats.
And all of this while drawing a new illustration every week.
And you can draw with us. If you do, please share your creations on social media and tag us in your posts.
Welcome to the club, friends. Hello, friends, and welcome to another episode of the Drawing Club podcast.
Yes, welcome back.
Yes. This is episode 3 of our season 3.
Yay.
So we're getting back into the swing of things.
Yes. Little by little.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay,
so should we start with what we are drawing today?
Oh, yes, we can do that. So, as you might have guessed, I'm drawing a witch again. Because that's what I do now.
It's October.
Yeah. So I have this witch with like very autumnal colors in mind. So I'm gonna be painting her with watercolors. So that's what I'm doing today. What about you, Sasha?
Well, I'm not drawing anything surprising either. I'm drawing some plants. Like just some plants in pots. Because I'm sitting today like in front of a lot of my plants. So I was just looking at them and I'm like, yeah, I want to draw these guys. And yeah, I'm also drawing them with kind of like tattoo designs in mind, which is apparently what I do now. So I'm like, maybe if somebody wants to get a tattoo of their favorite house plants, I can draw some like, you know, because usually when I draw house plants, they're more kind of abstract. They might look like some concrete plants, but usually they're kind of blobby. But now I'm like trying to make them look like some particular plant. Yeah, so if somebody has like a favorite plant or like some plant at home that they feel a connection with, then maybe they would want to get a tattoo of that. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of people who would.
Yes. So I have like a monstera plant and a snake plant and this Dracaena one, and then let's see, maybe I'll sketch some more.
Oh, it's nice. And what are you using to draw them?
Well, I'm sketching them with pencil. I think I'm just gonna draw with gel pen, because if they're gonna be tattoo designs, I'm anyway gonna go over them in Procreate on my iPad, and there I usually just use lines, so I think I'm just gonna use like a gel pen to do lines. What are you using?
I'm using my watercolor set.
Great.
Yes.
All right.
So, do you have something to share with the club today?
Yes. Yeah. I already told you before about it that like during this long period of isolation, I kind of ran out of YouTube videos to watch. I've been like, I mean, I always watch a lot of YouTube, but as I've been watching especially a lot of YouTube, and at one point I felt like I watched the whole YouTube, which I mean, of course I know is not possible, but kind of like all of the things that interested me kind of seemed to finish, and whatever YouTube was recommending me seemed like, okay, I think I watched everything I like, so YouTube is now recommending me some random stuff I'm not interested in. But anyways, recently I kind of got like really into this one category. You know, there are like some of these animal videos that are from, sometimes they're just excerpts from some like BBC documentary or something, just those short animal videos about some animal, and there is like a person
like
talking,
wild animals,
like wild animals, and there's a person talking in the background and just telling about this animal. And there is this one channel, I think it's called Animal Logic, and they make I don't know if those videos are actually like from somewhere else, but then they also like put on YouTube, or if it's on a YouTube channel, actually I don't know, but they have this series that's called Small Cats Unknown. And they're just about all those wild cats that are like small, so they kind of like are like house cats, but they are wild cats. I'm so into I mean, there are not a lot of those, but but then like after I watched those, then I got recommended like some other ones from some other channels. But I've been really into watching those kind of documentary videos about those cats, because like when you watch at the video of those cats, I mean, first of all, it's really interesting because I've never heard about any of those species before, but also when I watch those videos, they behave exactly like house cats. Like they just lick their paw, or like they make this blinky eye, the kind of like when they smile at you. Yeah. Like they also just sit there and do that, or they just lay there in the sun in this like position. I don't know. They just look like they behave exactly like house cats in these like little things.
Yeah.
So it's, I don't know, it's so cute. But then you see them in the wild, so they do their wild things also, and you learn about them, and like they are of course like different and they have their own things. So it's also like very interesting and educational. But they just make me really happy.
Yeah. Aww. That sounds so nice. So cute. Yes. Cats are.
Yeah, I think we have watched with you maybe like one or two of those videos about some of those.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I think so too.
So there's like more of those.
Yeah, continue.
Yeah, so there is more of those ones, like the one we watched with you about other kinds of cats.
Oh, so maybe when I run out of you two, I can also join you in the wildcat. I mean, not saying that should be like the last resort, because it does actually sound nice. Not something that I would only watch when I run out of you two, you know. But feel free to send me like some nice wildcat videos you see.
Sure.
Because I love like nature documentaries. I think
they're
so nice.
Yeah. All right. What do you want to share with the club today?
I want to share that this, as I mentioned on the podcast a few times, I've been working on this children's songbook, and I just want to announce that it is done. It is finished and it is in a print at this moment, and I am so relieved, honestly. And like super happy, but right now I'm very relieved because it's now Monday, and like as we're recording this, and on Friday like I finished everything, and it was a very intense day of like sending hopefully final draft and then getting feedback, and then making a few changes, then having to wait for feedback again. And it was like, it was very last minute that we got it into the printing house, like just in time for them to start printing it, but we did. And I'm so happy, and I'm really excited to see it in person.
Yeah.
Can't wait. It's my first
I can't wait to
book
see
baby.
it.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I should hopefully get like a copy myself, and if not, I'm gonna buy one, but I might also get like a maker's copy. Let's hope.
Yeah, I think you should.
Yeah. Fingers crossed. But yeah, so I'm very happy that project is now finished.
Yay, congrats.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, thanks. It's like the biggest illustration related thing I've made, and also like the first time I've done any kind of layout design that like had multiple elements per page, so I'm very happy and like really proud of myself. I did a good job, I think. Okay, but should we get to the topic of today's episode?
Yes. Do you want to tell what it is?
Yes, I can introduce the topic. So this was something that I guess we thought of already, like when we were planning the first season of the podcast. So today we want to talk about our lives outside of illustration. And we were kind of thinking of how we could do this, and we ended up with making these lists of things we are in addition to being an illustrator. And we both written our own lists, but we haven't shared them yet. So we're gonna be, learning as you do, like what we want to share. So we're gonna go like one by one. That you can maybe start. So you'll share like one thing you are in addition to being an illustrator, and then I'll do mine and so on. So we'll take turns sharing them.
And also, before we start, I wanted to say that, when Mia suggested making this list, because first we were just thinking of the things we do or what are our hobbies or anything. And I was kind of also because, lately we haven't been able to do a lot of things. So I was like, I don't know, I don't do anything. And and I was getting a little bit sad about it. But then when you suggested this, what we are, then I started making this list, and it was just so fun, and I came up with so many things, and I felt that it's actually such a good exercise to start listing the things that I am, even though it doesn't have to be very serious, but just kind of based on things you like or that are important to you and what you like to do, you kind of give yourself all these titles, and then you kind of start feeling so much better about yourself. So I was just also thinking this is actually a really good exercise.
Yes. I'm so happy that it made you feel better. That's so nice.
Yeah, and also just a disclaimer that also this is not very serious. Of course, these are things that we actually do and we actually like, but also when we call ourselves these things, they're not very serious. So don't come for us if we call ourselves something that is actually not our profession or anything like this. Yeah. This is fun and yeah,
exactly. We're having fun with it today.
Yes.
So do you want to start and share your first thing?
Okay. Well, I can start with more obvious things. So apart from being an illustrator, I'm also a jewelry designer.
Good one.
Yeah. So I mean, it kind of came, organically. Yeah, I just started making jewelry with my illustrations, and that's one of the types of merchandise that I sell in my online store.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I don't have that listed, but I mean, I followed in your footsteps with that.
Yes, so we both are.
Yes. Okay, so I am also a partner. And I'm a partner to my absolutely wonderful partner, Ollie. And we've been together for 7 years. And our relationship is a big part of my life and something I value so much. And we live together, and we have a little family together. And I love him a lot. So I'm a partner.
Yeah, I didn't include that, but that's also what I am.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I am also a cat mom.
Yeah.
And I mean, I guess there's no explanation needed because I've talked about my cats plenty on this podcast. But I have two cat children, and they are my babies, and I'm their mommy.
Yeah, I feel like your cats are kind of a part of this podcast in a way. And I mean, sometimes they actually are a part of this podcast.
Yes. They're a part of everything in my life. They need to take part. At least everything that I do at home, they need to take part.
Yeah. I love that. I love your cats. They're so nice. Okay. I'm also a friend. Oh my god, I'm gonna get emotional. But so I have a few really friendships that I really value in my life, and I feel like this year has been really challenging for friendships because it's been so difficult to see anyone, and video chatting just isn't the same. And also when I've been struggling, it's difficult to even do that. So but I'm super grateful for the friends that I have, like you, Sasha. I'm gonna cry. But
Now that I like hear, I feel like a theme coming that your list is gonna be like really wholesome and emotional. My list is super practical. And now I'm like, that's okay. No, I didn't put that. I'm also a friend, but yes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll continue on my parenting theme, and I'm also a houseplant mom.
Oh!
I mean,
Yes.
I love my houseplants. Of course, like cats are pretty like children to me. I mean, I've never been a human mom, so I can't speak on like that experience, but it feels very similar to me, at least. But of course, yeah, with my houseplants, I don't actually feel like I'm their mom, but I still kind of like the phrase. Anyways,
Yeah.
it's like one of the things that I love to do, like taking care of plants and like researching. At least nowadays I don't research as much, but you know, I like to research things when I get into them. So there was a time when I was learning a lot about houseplants, and nowadays it's just kind of this thing that like every now and then I will like water all of them and look at all of them and take off the dead leaves, and it's like this little like it's like a hobby, and it's really, I don't know how do you call it, like very calming. I really like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. I have the same one. I'm also a plant mom. Yeah, I feel like, I mean, I have not done the research you have, but thankfully you have taught me some things every now and then. But yeah, it's definitely like, I do love taking care of them. For me, it usually just means remembering to water them. But like it feels very calming to kind of slow down and take the time to. And I talk to my plants.
Yeah.
A lot. I don't have names for my plants though, I don't think. Do you have you named your plants?
No, when I had like 3 plants, they had names, but then once it got more than that, I stopped naming them because,
Yeah.
well, first of all, it's too many names to remember, but also, unfortunately, they die. And if I name them, then I get too attached. Like, then it feels like a person died on me. I don't know.
Oh no.
I don't know. When you name them, then you kind of give them a bit of a more animated personality.
That's true.
So
yeah.
I do get attached to some of them more than others, so it's more sad than they die. But I think naming them would be a bit too much in that regard.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what I was gonna say something. Yeah, I forgot. Anyway, no, I don't name them. But I remember. But I do talk to them. Yes, I also talk to them. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love to praise them if they're doing really well. If they're giving me a lot of like new leaves, I'm like, "Oh, you're doing so good! Oh, you're such a good plant! Thank you so much for your leaves and stuff." Yes, yeah. I'm really encouraging about their growth.
Yeah. I really much like see you as a caretaker. Like in general, I think you love to take care of others, be it people or plants.
Yeah. I'm like looking. Did I actually put it on list? No, I didn't. But yes.
Yeah, it's a good one for your list. It fits.
All right. Well, I think this is something we're gonna relate also. But I am a very beginner climber.
Yes.
or boulderer.
Yeah, I was wondering about that too.
Yeah, but I think you still say climber, even if you do.
Yeah.
But actually, I have done both. I mean, I've done more bouldering, but also I've done some of the rope climbing, and I really like that.
That's true.
But I mean, like, I'm not really good at it, but I enjoy the process and the company.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, it's a fun hobby.
Yeah. That was also my next one. So I'm gonna also talk about climbing a bit. Yeah, because we have talked about it already on the podcast, but our mutual friend kind of invited us to go bouldering with her, and she's done it for like years, and we went and we all got like super into it. So like we have this group of bouldering buddies. There's like 5 or even 6 of us, and like most of the time, of course, not everyone can make it, but like 2 to 4 people, and sometimes some of us go alone as well. And I mean, this year, of course, has been quite challenging in that regard, but yeah, I'm so happy, like the friends I've made and like the friendships that I have like grown through like doing this together. It's been like the best part, definitely, the social side of it.
Yeah, I think we have such a nice bouldering team.
We do.
Yeah, and it's so nice that there are like enough of us to kind of keep it going, even though like not everybody does it regularly. We still kind of it still keeps on going regularly, and then each of us kind of joins as they can. So like the whole bigger group like almost never comes together nowadays, but still we kind of more or less regularly get to see each other.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah, it is. It's super nice.
Yeah.
Your turn.
Yes. Well, another beginner. I think in general I'm a beginner at a lot of things because I think in the last episode I mentioned about how I like to try new things all the time. So but anyway, I'm a beginner tattoo artist.
Yes.
But again, like, not much else to say about it. I already told you about this new thing, but yeah, I've started learning to tattoo. So that's now another part of my identity and the things I do. Okay.
For me, the next one is that I am a nature lover. Yeah, I have this really, like, I really love going out in the nature. Sometimes it's like more difficult than other times because of my anxiety to like kind of get to do that. But there's just something about it that is so calming, and I always feel so much more like both kind of connected to myself but also connected to the world. Because I feel like with having anxiety, what it does to me is it kind of... I feel like I'm kind of floating all the time, or like I don't feel connected to a lot of things. I don't know, this sounds like pretty abstract and weird maybe, but I feel like I really need things that ground me, because all the worrying and the anxiety kind of do the opposite of that. So I feel like going outside and just like being in an outside space where there's nature, it's such a huge help for that, and probably like the biggest help for that I know. And like especially now that's seeing friends is so much harder. So yeah, I love nature, and I feel like it's a very healing thing in my life.
Yeah, well, I again can relate, and how I wrote it down is that I am also a hiker, and since recently a camper. I mean, a camper is a car, but what is a person who camps?
No, I think it is a camper also, or is it? Well, anyway,
campist.
We know what you mean now.
Yes, so that's like the way I connect to nature is like Is my cat making... Yeah, I think my cat is making noises again. So if you hear weird noises, that's my cat being really excited about this box that came because I got some food delivery, and I put the food in the fridge, and now there's empty box, and it's a very fun toy, which I should have known and hidden before recording, but with cats there is always something new. But I'm sure you friends already are used to my cats participating.
Which cat is it?
I don't know. I can't see. I just see
Okay.
boxes and I can hear. Maybe it's both. Yeah. So I'm sorry I didn't take boxes away. I was at first like, what is the sound? Yeah, it's cats. Anyways,
Yes.
back to because also like with my mental struggles, I have like a really hard time leaving home if there is no like a reason or like
Yeah.
goal. So even though
Yeah.
in Helsinki we're so lucky to have a lot of nature around us, I don't really go there just to walk around, which I
Yeah.
know for many people it's gonna sound very like why, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I want to, but my mind doesn't let me just go if there's no goal. But
yeah, but
yes.
I get that.
Yeah,
I
so for
feel
me,
that.
like hiking trips is like the thing, because I also feel the same way about nature, as you said. It's like it's very grounding. It makes me really happy. It like I don't know. I just feel so good in nature. I always feel happy. I always feel like alert. I don't really want to be like on my phone all the time, except I want to take all the photos. But like
yeah, definitely.
yeah, but like. I don't need to distract myself with social media because I'm like really into everything that's happening around me, and like but I need to actually take a day or half a day or some time and like go somewhere. So like by bus or by car or like somewhere away, so it's like a trip. So I've always been really into like hiking trips, but before I was only taking like day hiking trips, but since this fall we took like a bigger hiking trip for like a long time, and we were also camping, and that was like a whole new level of enjoying nature. So I'm really into it, and I think I'm gonna keep being a hiker and a campist.
I love it. Yeah, one thing I also want to add about like nature that I thought of is like I like this sense of wonder that I feel in nature, like with the beauty of the world, is just something that I feel it in nature, at least like the strongest, and I love that, and that feels so like amazing that I don't know that I get to experience
and it never grows old. Like sometimes I go to the forest and it looks pretty much like the forest I went to last time, but I'm still like so excited about all the little things, even though I've already seen that kind of things. But I don't know, it never gets old in the nature.
Yeah, that's so
like
true.
In the wild.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so I am a clothes and style enthusiast. Which is like another thing that has been really, I've really struggled with this year because I have nowhere to go. So I have I've had no motivation to really make myself look cute. And that's really important to me. Like I love expressing myself through clothes and just like style in general. It's just like a really big part of my self-expression. So I feel like it's one of the reasons that I've maybe felt a bit lost this year, because I haven't really, I don't know. For me, it's important to kind of see myself like also out in the world and how I maybe appear to others. I don't know. Like this is very, like, I don't know. Someone would probably say like, it's so superficial. Like, why would you need that? You should be I don't know. But it's like very important to me how people see me and like how I want to kind of present myself and like show through that like my personality and what kind of things are important to me and what I value. And also it's just like super fun to me. So yeah. That's something that I really love.
Yeah, I can relate to that too. And also like how it's been a bit sad lately, that's I mean, even though it's of course that's like the list of the problems of nowadays, but still it's like it's still like this little creative part that is missing, kind of. Because because I've been going out, but still I've only been going to like my day job, and there I just need to be comfy and warm. So it's kind of like I am getting dressed in the morning, but like in this very uninspiring way. And then it's like, okay, so this is like what I look like on a general like day. So it's a bit like doesn't align with with what I would want all the time. Even though it's like it's not like I worry about it all the time, but it's sometimes it's a little bit sad to lose that part of creativity.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Okay, I'm also an activist.
Nice.
And I guess I have also talked about it on the podcast, or have I? I'm not sure.
I think so. Maybe in our feminist episode or somewhere. Yes, we've talked about it, but please tell the people.
Well, I'm like mostly into like offline activism, so I'm not very like because online activism sounds a bit scary to me. So but of course like I will speak up on some things online, but a lot of things I don't, not because I don't care, but because online for me is a bit too broad. But I have been taking part in a lot of local, or not a lot maybe, but in some local activist projects. Yeah, and I really like that's really fulfilling to me, and it's one of my values that I feel it's very important to me to contribute into, fight for equality and stuff. So so I'm happy that I get to sometimes find ways to do that. That is also like interesting to me, and I get to do it with some nice people. And
yeah, I love that. Yeah, I also have like pretty much the same, but I used where is it? That I'm a social justice warrior.
Well, yeah.
But for me, like I haven't really been so much in local activist circles, or like I haven't really done any of that. I mean, I've been for a while. I was at a helpline for women and girls who've experienced violence. So that's like the most kind of practical thing I've done with regards to that. But yeah, I try to do things online, and sometimes I have more to give than other times, I feel like. And I feel like there's been like some really valuable discussion around online activism, like with regards to the Black Lives Matter movement and like performative allyship and stuff. And it's been like very thought-provoking and kind of eye-opening in some ways also, like to try to like it's not as easy, maybe it's not easy to navigate or to figure out a way, like a valuable way to contribute online. I guess it's not like a simple thing, but I'm trying my best, and I guess that's what you can do. Like just stay informed and try your best. And it's important to me to because it's like these values are important to me, so I want to try and do something for them in my life. And for me, like online has been easier and less scary. Yeah.
Yeah. I have like a little bit related to that. I'm also I wrote it like as charity supporter. I don't know, money donator. How do you say it? But yeah, I feel for me also, because I can't always offer my time and like energy to a lot of things that I want to help, but I try as much as I can to contribute with money. And I know it's some people feel weird about other people talking about how they donate money, but I don't think it, like, because, you know, you're like doing good, but then if you're bragging, it's not so good anymore. But I don't agree with that. I think we should talk more about like donating money and like kind of normalize it, that it's like something that a lot of people do, and it's okay. You don't have to be some very special person. Like, if you have any kind of extra money, even if it's €1 or €3 or 300 euros, however much extra you think you can spare, it's, if you can, I think it's good. So I don't donate a huge amounts of money, but I support several different organizations, and sometimes they change, and sometimes I donate less if I have less money, and then if I have a bit more money, then I donate more. But for me, it's very important to send some of my money elsewhere, because I think how money is distributed in the society is very unfair. And I know that I'm not like on the high sector of that, of course, but still there are a lot of people or causes that have even less. So whatever I can share, because I believe that all of us who can share should share at least something.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, same. Like, there are some organizations that I've supported for maybe like 10 years, and I definitely wasn't like like wealthy in my, like, at the start of my 20s. I mean, I'm still not wealthy, but I feel, like what you said, like any little thing is like meaningful, because, like, you know, if everyone gave €1 or $1 or whatever, you know, it's like everything amounts to like important contributions.
Yeah,
I feel like.
exactly.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, this is kind of related to my last point, but I'm also an avid thrifter. So I like to buy a secondhand, but that also like goes not just for clothes and style, but also like most of the things in my home, like pretty much all my furniture. And like I just love, first of all, I love like having old things. I feel like they have so much more character, and they have like, I don't know, a story to them, or it's fun to imagine like where they've been before me and what their like life has been like. Like, now I got this what is it, like this, oh my god, what do you call this? I got the, you know, this like chest of drawers, but the drawers are super small, so it's like the filing cabinet. Filing cabinet, and it has these like paper cards on it that say things like buttons or like zippers and stuff, like in Finnish. So it's probably been in like some kind of sewing company or something, and that's like so cute. That's so cool. Like, I love these things so much. But then, like, in addition to that, I love owning these things, the act of like going like and looking for these treasures and then like finding something, like, I just love that. Like, I could do it forever. It's so enjoyable to me. Yeah, I can't believe I didn't include that on my list, because that's like that's my also like a very big hobby, and I've been kind of struggling also with like not being able to do that. I really miss it. And I've been compensating with Facebook Marketplace. That has been my thrift store, and I even had to sometimes go and pick up some really small thing for like a couple euros just because it was cute and I liked it. And I kind of like, I don't know, I think I satisfy my thrift, like the hole in my heart that is left from not being able to thrift with that, even though I'm like, it's much nicer to go to a store where there's a lot of stuff and find treasures than like scroll through pictures and then go and pick it up from like one little thing from one person. Of course, like Facebook Marketplace or like websites like that
are much better for like bigger things like furniture and stuff. But yeah.
Yeah, but
Yes.
it's like the next, you do what
Yeah.
you have to do.
Yeah,
It's the next best
exactly.
thing.
Yeah. I this is funny. I wrote weightlifter. But
Whoa!
but like
nice.
I wouldn't call myself weightlifter, of course, because like yeah, but that's like one of my favorite kinds of sports. Also, I've gotten really into
Yeah.
like going to the gym, which again, this is also like a running thread through this. Like a lot of these things we can't do for like months now.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I have been going to the gym like every now and then, in the summer at least. But of course, like, yeah, not that often, because I only try to go on the days and times when it's like very empty. And yeah, but yeah, I didn't really like the idea of weightlifting and going to the gym for a really long time. But then my doctor suggested it to me as like a treatment for my depression, and I was like, okay, let's try. I can try it. And I have a friend who was going to the gym, so I went with her, and I don't know, I fell in love with it, and it's so fun, and I really like seeing how my body gets stronger and also looks stronger. And yeah, like lifting weights is like apparently a really fun kind of exercise. And even though like I'm not still like that strong, so like I'm not the kind of person you imagine when you say weightlifter. But I still call myself that because that's like my favorite kind of exercise nowadays, apart from bouldering, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's so cool. Like I went to the gym like a year ago for a year, and I never got super into it, but there is something really enjoyable about these repetitive movements, and just and I was always listening to something entertaining or like some nice music or something, and it like I get some of it when you enjoy it. And the getting stronger part was definitely like super fun for me.
Yes. Yeah. Like in the beginning, it was a bit harder because like I felt very clumsy and like I can't do anything. But once I started getting stronger, it was so much fun because then I could see, and there are like mirrors there, and I can see myself with this barbell on my back, like, and I don't know, and I feel like, oh my god, wow, I'm so cool. I'm like lifting this big thing, and like, I don't know. Yeah, once you like start to manage to do things you couldn't do before, it like, even if it's compared to all the other people in the gym, it's still very little, you still know where you started, and it like feels so cool. At least to me it felt so cool and was really inspiring.
Definitely. Yeah. Okay, let's see, what do I have then? I am an enthusiastic singer. This is not in any professional capacity, but it is very important to me. Like, I love to sing, and like when I'm alone, well, I talk to myself a lot, but also a lot of the times I like sing to myself, like things I'm doing. Like, I narrate my life to myself by singing a lot. And then like every now and then I'll go on YouTube karaoke and just like smash those amazing like power ballads and like fun songs. Like, I just love it. It gives me so much joy, and like sometimes I also do it and it doesn't, like, I do it a lot for fun or just because I have to constantly make noise when I'm alone. But also like sometimes singing feels like this very intimate thing where I feel like I'm connecting to something in myself that maybe I don't really connect to through any other thing that I do. So yeah, I enjoy it for many things.
Yeah, I can relate to that too. And the one type of singing I recently discovered is singing in a car when driving.
Ooh.
Yeah, because on our hiking camping trip, it was kind of like a road trip, so we were traveling a lot, so we spent a lot of hours driving, and I'm the only driver in the family, and when I'm sleepy
Yeah.
and tired, I'm a bit scared to fall asleep, while driving. So I need to sing.
Yeah.
So then I ask my partner to put on some playlist that has like the songs that I know the lyrics to. So it's usually something like, very known or very cheesy. Yeah, or like Britney Spears albums or something like that. Or like some classic Russian music.
Oh.
Yeah, and then I just sing for hours and I don't get tired of it. It's so fun. And I mean, we sing together.
It is. Yeah.
Yes. I'm also nowadays a videographer and a photographer, and that is kind of like a job I have, like a small side job, because my partner has this project, like a sound art project, which I probably also talked about already, where we travel to different nature spots, and he uses waterfalls as his sound sources and makes like sound art pieces with waterfalls. And I am working as a videographer and photographer for that project. So I film and I edit and I take photos, and yes, it's a very fun job.
That like the whole project is so cool, and I'm always like these places that you visited, they were so beautiful.
Yeah,
I love watching those videos and photos and everything.
Yeah, it's a perfect job for that inner hiker and campist of mine.
Yeah.
Like, because we can do both, or like we have to do both. Yeah, we hike to do our work.
Yeah, that's like perfect. Like you get this creative side and you get the beautiful nature and hiking side.
Yes, yeah,
really
I love
cool.
it.
Okay, what else do I have? Oh my god, I have to cross out some more things that I've already said. Okay, well, this is kind of related to what I said before, but I'm also a cabin goer. I'm like lucky enough that my family has a cabin that I can visit, and that's like one of my favorite things. It's very similar than going to nature, because of course a cabin is like surrounded by nature, but it's also this like more simple feeling life, but with some comforts of being indoors. And but I feel like it's always just helps me to kind of slow down and kind of focus on I don't know, like it just simplifies life, I feel like. Although like the summer holiday when I was at the cabin, I mostly just played Sims the whole time, so it's not like this. It's not this totally, romanticized, slow living thing. Like whatever I do at the cabin, like it's just nice.
It can also be a hideout. You just hide in this cave and play Sims. And nobody sees you.
Yeah, no one wants anything from me. Just,
Yeah. That's okay too.
Yeah, I think so too.
Okay, well, I'm also a seacoast enthusiast.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I just love, or not even necessarily sea. I just love bodies of water. I love hanging out by them. I love taking pictures of them. I like boats. I like fish. I like, I don't know, anchors. I don't know, little lighthouses. Like anything to do with, like visual. I mean, I don't like to ride boats. Yeah, that's also a very weird contradiction. I have a open water phobia.
Yeah.
I can swim in open water, but I don't like to sit in a vessel in open water. It's a very irrational thing. Yeah. Anyways, but I do love the look and feel of like boats and like islands and bridges. Like I love bridges. Like I don't know, anything basically, or like those old mills that are on the waterfalls. I love waterfalls.
Oh, beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like rivers, and like when rivers are like in rock and all this, like I don't know, all the visual things that surround bodies of water, whether they are natural or human built. All of those things I like. I mean, except things that damage wildlife and ocean. I don't like fishing nets. I don't like water power stations. Like those things I don't like. But all the things that complement bodies of water and bodies of water themselves, I'm a huge fan of those things.
Yeah. I'm like really excited because I mean, I really love water as well, but I mostly had this connection with lakes because, well, living in Finland, there's a lot of lakes, and like spending childhood holidays at like the cabin with a lake. Like lakes are just they're like the body of water that I feel the most comfortable with because it's just the most familiar to me. But because now I have moved to the coast, to the sea coast, I'm like so excited. Like the sea is so beautiful, and I mean I've thought the sea is beautiful, but I've also thought it is a bit scary maybe because it's so big and you can't see the end of it. But where we live, you can actually, there are like these little pockets of sea, like bays, is that the word? But like I'm kind of getting used to sea in this very cozy way that feels more like a lake, but it's definitely not a lake because there's like, you know, the waves are rocking and it's like the smell is totally different, but I'm really loving it and I'm really excited to get familiar with the sea myself.
Yeah, I remember like in the beginning when I just moved to Finland, I was really disappointed by the sea coast here because you can see stuff, like there's no view where you just see this endless sea. Because that's what I like really liked about sea coast also, like because as a child, like I lived all the way in the north, so in the summer we would, like if we could, we would go somewhere to the south to the sea coast to warm up a bit. So there would always be this endless sea view, and here I was like at first like, what? This is not sea. Like you can. There's like stuff, there is like another side always visible. It's either like some big island or it's a bay, so you'll see the other side of the bay or like something. But nowadays, like I really like it because it's different, but it's also beautiful. And if you want to see the view, you can go to all the way to the south of Finland, to Hanko or something like this, and you can see that too. So it's also available. With a little bit of a trip.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. I'm also a fiber artist. I mean, I'm not an actual fiber artist, but that's like one of my kind of creative self-expressions that like, you know, have nothing to do with my job. I don't want to monetize it or anything. It's just my meditation or whatever. I like to crochet. I like to knit. I recently have also learned to punch needle, and that has been amazing. And I don't usually like sew, but like recently, for example, I got this small kind of rug, and I just want to like, you know, sew two sides together and put stuffing and make it a pillow. So like that kind of thing I would also do, like just, you know, sit and sew this one big line. So I never actually like properly sew, but yeah, something like this. Like I like to make things using textiles. But like the very simple and repetitive things, so I could at the same time like watch a movie or something. It's like very, I guess because I use my hands, it's also like it feels creative, because I think like when you use your hands with some small stuff, it does stimulate your brain in this very good way. But so you know how there is like all these things about small children, like all these different kinds of what are they? Like,
Yeah?
you know how you like play with children, like all these small things, like all these Montessori things, and like how like you know when you give things, when you give children small things to do, it kind of develops their brain in a good way. But it's the same with adults. Like when you do things with your hands, kind of like some small things, it also is like good for your brain somehow.
Yeah.
Like it's like stimulates some good brain activity. I don't know. And it like, yeah, I think it feels nice in that way. And also you end up with a thing that you can use or give someone. But yeah, I never make like sweaters or like anything complicated. I like simple things because it's more of the process for me. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I am an enthusiastic eater.
Yeah.
I love food, and food is like a really big part of my life, and especially in that it's one of the things that brings me like the most joy and enjoyment in my day-to-day life. And also I love we can't really eat out as easily now. Of course we can get takeout, but like okay, twice a year me and my partner, we do this thing where we treat ourselves to like a very, very fancy dinner. And it's usually on our anniversary and then like on our birthdays. Okay, so maybe 3 times a year. And we go and eat out at like this really fancy fine dining, like, you know, these tiny portions that you get like a bunch of, and they're like sometimes like really out there tastes, and like they're very interesting. And I think like a lot of people don't really care for it because it's, you know, it's pricey for the amount of food, but oh my god, like those are some of my like I just love I love experiencing like different kinds of food, and like it gets me so excited, and it also gets me like super emotional. Like sometimes I can be looking at cucumber soup that is like just so beautiful, and I haven't even tasted it, and I will cry. Like I don't know. It's like it's amazing and I love it. I love food. Okay, but should we get to our question of the week this week?
Let's do that.
Okay. So illustrator Henna sent us a question. They sent it in Finnish, but I have taken the liberty to translate it into English, so it might not be word for word, but here we go. What are your thoughts on sustainability in the illustration industry, and how do you take it into account in your own work? Do you want to start, Sasha?
Yeah. I really like this question. It's quite big also. So we can like touch upon it, but then I'm thinking we could actually even make it an episode like at some point.
Yeah, I think we've been thinking about it because we also have some guests in mind.
Yes,
who could be perfect for that.
True. Yeah, but yeah, I'm like very passionate about this topic, and while like in my personal life, I I know that the responsibility for sustainability is on the big corporations and the you know, the lawmakers, the people who rule the world. I believe that they hold the responsibility for sustainability much more than people. So of course it's nice when we as, you know, humans, like single people, that we like, you know, recycle our trash and try not to create too much waste, and we are vegan and like do all those little things. I think it's very important, but if we can't do that, like whether a person does it or not actually does not change that many things. Like compared to
unfortunately.
Yes. So like it's also like a whole big question, but you get the idea. Like, but as an entrepreneur, I feel way more responsibility about this than as a one person who is not an entrepreneur, like an everyday human. Like I feel that as an entrepreneur, I already have a bit more responsibility because I make products that I sell to people. So I offer things, and I think like as businesses, we need to offer products that are more sustainable than other options. But of course, also on the other hand, tiny entrepreneurs like us, of course, don't have the possibilities that giant corporations have and the lawmakers have. So of course, like I think that this battle inside about like what can I do as an entrepreneur and what I should do as an entrepreneur, like what is my responsibility, but also like what are my because also I'm an entrepreneur because I just want, this is the job I want, like it's not because I want to become rich or own something giant or because I want power or anything like that. So
oh my god.
So of course, like sometimes I just need to earn money the best way I can to hopefully then so do you get what I mean? Like it's a balance. So sometimes I do feel a lot of, I think we as entrepreneurs should try to have a lot, like as much, to be responsible about the products we are offering people. But also like I feel that sometimes I put a bit too much pressure on myself, at least with things that I can't actually control or research or influence. So I don't know. This is kind of what I think about the industry, at least from my point of view. But yes, personally, I try to do as much as I can, like with being a sustainable business. I try to use recycled materials. I try to reuse things as much as I can. I at least like reuse all of the like packaging materials. If I get something in like boxes or envelopes or something, I recycle all of that and all the bubble wrap and everything. And I try to, like when I order materials for my products, I try to order them from at least like smaller businesses, or if I can find something that is made locally, I try to do that. And I usually choose to not make products that I'm not sure about how sustainable or not sustainable they are, or I'm not sure where they're made, or when I know they're made somewhere where I can't really check. Even though I know that, like, of course, the more you try that, the less amount, like, the less is the kinds of products that you can make. So I've been only making, like, paper products and, like, this wooden jewelry. And even though I've tried, like, some other things, I kind of stopped because I don't feel like they are the kind of sustainable products that I... like, they're not sustainable enough for my standards.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I take this very seriously, but also, we still have limited resources to the things that we can buy and research, because we're still like small individual people who do this. So unfortunately, it's still a bit difficult. And also the companies who promote to like their products to small entrepreneurs as sustainable sometimes like use a lot of greenwashy language in their promotion, and then you don't always know if it because I know that a lot of illustrators or like small entrepreneurs try to be sustainable, and then there are companies that make things for like illustrators, and then they say how they're all like very sustainable, but then some people start researching and then it's not all as amazing as they say. And of course, you as an individual person can't always do this giant research and figure out every single company. So it's a struggle, but I think we can all just try to do our best and research as much as we have the capacity to.
Yeah, definitely. And what I would like add to that, because I mean, you did a great job already at like exploring this in depth. But like something about the industry in general is, I feel like it's like because the whole thing of creating products, like you're creating new things that are like physical and tangible to sell. So like, I mean, I know the world doesn't need stuff. So I sometimes even feel bad about the whole concept of creating something new for this world that it doesn't really need. But then again, like, you know, like art prints aren't, you know, it's not the worst thing you can bring into the world, for example, or postcards or something. But then I feel like sometimes, because I see a lot of illustrators creating all these, I feel like more and more people are creating like more, like a variety of products, illustrated products, like more kind of objects or like garments and like all these things. I feel like new things are coming all the time. And like, on one hand, I like might feel excited about it, like about the possibilities are like, possibilities to kind of play with your creativity. And like, I mean, of course it's like it feels like a fun idea to, oh my god, like there could be a like something very fun with my design on it that people have, like it's a pretty heady feeling, like it's very, I don't know. But then at the same time it kind of terrifies me at this, like, because yeah, people are making all these, I don't know, like plastic figurines or like whatever. I mean, I don't know. And all these things, like it also gives me anxiety a lot about all the things that we're bringing into the world that kind of, I don't know, like it might be fun in a way, but is it, I don't know. Yeah, it's like very hard to kind of, so I've been also like very cautious about, yeah, like what kind of products I want to do or where I want to get them made. And yeah, it like sometimes it feels really hard to navigate that because we are only one person.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not one person.
Yeah, but like each of us is only one person. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
yeah. Also maybe like about how I take it into account is like similar in many ways. Like I also reuse things that I get sent things in, you know, I reuse cardboard or like bubble wrap. Like I've never bought bubble wrap. I just reuse it and like, yeah. And like when I can make products and when it makes sense for me to make products with like, I don't know, recycled paper, for example, I do that. But no, I don't do that with everything because, for example, for my art prints, I haven't found a paper that would display the colors how I want them to and be recycled at the same time. So it's all about like making compromises and where you can, you know, take it more into account, then try to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's also like for me, it's I always try to think, of course I'm not like a environmental expert, so I can't always know, but I try to think about like when we hear it, because when we see all those things, we, for example, try to do better and we try to use products that are more eco-friendly. So then we always like see all these keywords like recycled, like biodegradable or compostable or like, I don't know, natural materials or whatever. And I think it's important also to try to understand what it means and whether that actually makes sense. Because for example, like when we get this compostable plastic, like it's really nice when you can compost something and you don't make, like your customers don't throw it into the ocean, but they actually compost it. But you know, if you don't tell that to people, to your customers, they're not gonna recycle it correctly because to them it's just plastic. So they're either gonna throw it with regular trash, or they might, if they are somebody who tries to recycle, they might throw it into the plastic recycling or something. So if, for example, you sell these compostable sleeves or bubble wrap or something, then it's important to inform your customer also, like, please put this in this type of trash or recycle this way. So sometimes I'm thinking like, so what is, for example, I was using this compostable bubble wrap, but then I changed to recycled bubble wrap because I felt like my compostable bubble wrap probably doesn't go into compost ever, because in a lot of countries also, because I think first when I think about myself, like in Finland, there is a compost bin in every apartment building. So whenever something is compostable, it's probably going to go into compost. But also, for example, in Russia, in my home country, like the recycling works completely different. So people who do recycle, they do it themselves. There's nothing in the building, but there is no compost at all. So nobody does compost recycling at all, but they do separate plastics, for example. So I'm thinking, like, in the grand scheme of things, how many customers even can recycle compostable things compared to like plastic things. So maybe I should buy plastic things, because then they will go in plastic recycling, and then I also will buy them from like recycled plastic. So then it's like, I already supported this company that has taken old plastic, made new plastic, and then I'm going to ask my customers to also put it in plastic recycling, so then it will become another recycled product. So maybe that's actually better. So I think like these things are like, it's really nice when we try to choose to support all these like initiatives, but I think it's also important to like kind of analyze the cycle of your product. And it's like, okay, so I'm gonna buy this this product that is advertised as eco-friendly. How is it eco-friendly? How is my customer gonna use it? And compared to this other eco-friendly product, how is that? Like, and of course, like, I might actually be mistaken by this. I only think about it with my own logic. So maybe if you have a possibility to consult with like some expert who knows about this stuff, maybe this could be. If any of you listeners are an expert in this thing, let us know, because maybe we could interview you for our podcast. Because I would actually love to learn more about like all those different materials and how they actually, like, what is actually more eco-friendly for like my kind of business, like recycled plastic or compostable plastic, or like, you know, like these kind of things.
It's really hard to know for certain, and I often myself kind of feel like I'm just trying to do something and I'm hoping that it's better than nothing. Basically.
But here you go, a very vague answer, but that's how we try to approach it. And thank you for your question, and
yes, thank you.
Let us know if you want this topic also explored even more in a separate episode, because we feel very strongly about this.
Yeah, definitely. Would love to talk about it more. How is your drawing doing, Sasha?
It's okay. I mean, it's just like a bunch of separate kind of line drawings of house plants.
Oh, but they look so pretty.
Thank you.
Oh, is it in blue? It's in blue, right?
Yeah, it's in blue.
Oh, so pretty.
This, I think it's a Muji gel pen. Thank you. How about yours?
Yeah, I can show you. I finished it. Let me see. Here we go.
Oh, yeah. It's really cute.
Thanks.
I like the yellow sweater. Is it?
Yeah.
Were you also wearing a yellow sweater earlier today?
Yeah, I have a yellow cardigan, but I took it off earlier because I got hot. True. Might have been that. Oh, thank you so much for listening to our episode today. And we hope you enjoyed it. And if you have any questions of the week you would like to ask us, please send them to us by email or on Instagram. We'd love to answer your questions.
Yes. See you. Bye.
See you. Bye. Thank you for listening to the Drawing Club podcast.
You can follow us on Instagram at Drawing Club Podcast, or email us at drawingclubpodcast@gmail.com.
You can also find me, Mia, on Instagram at mia.minerva and on YouTube as Mia Minerva. Sasha, where can we find you?
I'm on Instagram at Sasha_Kretova.
This podcast was created by us, Mia Minerva and Sasha Kretova.
Olli Arni created the theme song and assisted with the recording, and Dmitry Zherbin took care of audio mastering.
Welcome to the club, friends.